What advice would you give to a bodybuilder who's just becoming a pro?
Bodybuilding is more than just what you do in the gym.
Without social media, they still would have supported you?
Okay, I'm just going to show my life as it is. I'm going to show you me going to work.
Sam Suik, you're both in the same company, right?
It's extremely disheartening.
What advice would you give to a bodybuilder who's just becoming a pro? Because if you become a pro right now, it doesn't mean you get money, right? Like,
No.
you've been through it. Yeah.
I would say for me, yeah, for me being through it, because this is one thing is, especially being one of the pros and you get one of the you get, they didn't tell you, you don't tell you anything. You don't know what's going to happen. Right. You know, you just want to win your pro card, win your pro card, win your pro card. So when it was my time, I won mine. You know, I was still working full time and everything. I won mine. I thought, okay, now what? And it's just like, oh, great, you cannot compete with the big boys. And it was for me, you know, at the time, I'm gonna lie, it was disappointing and it was disheartening at the time because I was like, damn, okay, okay, is that it? And he's like, all right. But then, you know, especially when you're coming up, I always say, like, look, just because you win your pro card, that just means that you're in the gates. It doesn't mean that you're now running with the big boys. It just means you're in the gates. It means that the work only starts there. That's where the true workout starts. Because I was amateur for 3 years and I got through that quite quickly. When I turned pro, it was like, okay, now is the testing of your merit. Now is the testing of your water. And I just say, if guys are coming in, try to understand that that's what it's like. You just got in the race. Now the real running, the real work really begins. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be disheartening because I know being in that position, you know, I know how much stress and everything it cost me and my family and my wife at the time when we were struggling financially to go show to show. And you're spending a lot on travel and everything else, and then you're going to show and no place top 5, and you're going home empty-handed. And we were getting in debt, we were getting stuff from it, and it was challenging, man. You know, I was working full time, my wife's working full time. We were both working overtime to substitute this idea of my dream of bodybuilding. You know, we weren't going on holidays, we weren't having this great life. We were just putting everything, investing everything into this career of mine. And to see every time you do a show and it's like you go home empty-handed, it's extremely disheartening. And I know this is 2020, before everything started to break out. 2020, I was like, you know what, this is my last year, I ain't gonna do this again. You know, for me, 2020, I was like, look, if we don't make it this year and we don't win a show and go to Olympia, this is my last year of competing, I ain't gonna do it again, because I can't keep seeing my wife and I struggle to put so much into this and then keep failing at it. And after a while, you're just like, you know, I don't know if I can keep watching this happen. So I remember I decided with her in 2020 that if it doesn't happen here, and you know, and then 2020 we had the worst year ever because COVID happened.
Pandemic, right?
Oh man, I need to shut everything down. So, and I remember that was the year I did try to do shows everywhere I could and try to travel around everywhere I could. And I think at that point, the saving grace for me, because it was literally going to be like, okay, that's a clear enough sign, if any, that this wasn't meant for you. You're not meant to do this. Mm-hmm. But then, you know, right, I think it was in August, right at the point where I was going to be like, okay, well, it isn't working. That's when I got my first contract with Hostile. And I remember speaking to Fuad Hostile, and he basically gave me one more chance at it, you know, because I thought one was going to work out. He spoke to my wife, you know, they spoke about it, and they said, look, we know it's been hard. We know it's been a struggle, but we believe you can do it. Just give it one more year, you know, just one more year. So that's where I kind of like, after a while, I was okay, you know, hell, go ahead. And then we had 2021, and that was the year I finally won a show and qualified for the Olympia. And things all just took off then. And, you know, I want to say, you know, a lot of young guys coming up, you're going to go through that. There's no exceptions. You're going to go through that. And it's going to be a struggle, and you're going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard on your family. It's going to be hard on your loved ones. You're going to want to quit time and time and time again. But, you know, if you go where it takes to stick it out, trust me, the reward on the end is worth it. I can tell you right now, speaking firsthand from someone who's been through it, it's worth every single minute of that I go for it.
That's very real, man. That's something you don't hear a lot in bodybuilding. You know, people really opening up like that because people, you know. Well, would you think that social media is almost a necessity these days? Like without social media, I don't know if obviously Hostile supported you, right, which is amazing. But do you think without social media, they still would have supported you?
Because at the time, you know, I gotta say, Hannah, it goes right now, especially for young guys coming up. You have to have a social media. You will not make it in this sport financially without social media. You have to have it. And, you know, because I know I was stubborn when I first started, you know, when social media started kicking off early 2018, 2019, and people were bodybuilders get more and more into social media. I was like, man, I don't need all that. My physique is going to do the work, and I'm going to just sponsor. I'm going to do well on stage, and then sponsors are going to sponsor me, and everything is going to be all gravy. The game has changed. It's not like that anymore. You have to have social media. And I remember when, even in 2020, I think I only had like 16,000 followers at the time. And even then, it was like, okay, I started working at it where I was like, okay, you know what? It seems like, I spoke to, this is a good thing because I spoke to Flex Lewis at the time. I remember him telling me that. And I spoke to Ben Pekulski, another person I spoke to. And they were like, look, you got to do your social media, man. Look, trust me, it's going to help you a lot. And you're going to get people to sort of support you and see you outside just the physique and see who you are as a person, and that's going to be something of value. So you got to have to show those things. And as anybody starts, they'll be like, well, what do I show? It's like, it's the same. My life is the same. I do the same thing. I'm a bodybuilder. It's boring. I go to work, I come home, I cook food, I eat, I go to the gym over and over again. It's repetitive. It's boring. What's exciting about this? And they said to me, look, show that. That's you. That's your life as it is. That's real. That's you. Don't try to be anything else. Be you. Everybody is unique, but we all try to copy something else because we think that's what people want to say. No, they want to see you. So be you. And I remember he gave me that advice then, and it was the best advice he ever given me, because when I started it, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to show my life as it is. I'm going to show you me going to work. I'm going to show me coming back. I'm going to show me go to the gym. I'm going to show me go train. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, exactly how crap I feel. I can tell you exactly how much depth I'm in. I'm show you my life as it is. And started showing that. And I felt like at the time as well, I felt like I was recording a journey on social media every day. I was showing every day as it happens. I was showing the downs. I was showing the ups. So when it came to a point where we then got a contract with Hostile and then things started happening, everybody that was involved in me at the time started when I had nothing. So they watched it happen. And for them to sort of see that, man, I could go back and bring up videos from like before anybody knew I was. So it felt like you were a chance to not just sort of grow your following, but record your own history. So you can always go back and pick out videos from every moment and say, oh, yeah, I remember when this happened. I remember when this happened. I remember when we were in this struggle. I remember when this happened. And you can sort of do that. So it works in a twofold. And having that, it builds something strong. It builds your character and builds you up. And it makes you understand how not just to focus purely on just being a good bodybuilder in a gym, but have to market yourself as a brand as well. So I always advise a lot of people coming into the game now, bodybuilding is more than just what you do in the gym. Just saying, oh, I train hard, oh, I'm hardcore, I'm working hard. Yeah, that's trust me, the gym is the fun, easy part. What happens outside the gym doing this, that is part of the job. That is part of it. That's part of what makes you a good bodybuilder, is all that. So it's being able to work on all fronts and not just focus on this day of, putting your hoodie up and just going to the gym and coming home and like, yeah, I'm doing hard. Those days are done. Things have changed. You have to be smart. You have to be eye-open. You have to see the world for what it is now, how the world evolves, and you got to evolve with it, or else you get left behind.
Wow, that's interesting. Speaking of social media, Sam Suik, a new sensation about it. He's your teammate, right? You're both in the same company, right?
He left Hostile last month. I think he's starting his own brand. So, yeah, I mean, he's big enough name and everything else, and he keeps growing. So
He's a huge name. Like, he became a big sensation.
yes, yeah.
He doesn't even compete, right? Like, what do you think about his success in the industry?
I think he's amazing. I know when he came out, a lot of people were hating on him for the most silly reason. Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't train like body. He doesn't eat like one. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. And this is what I'm saying about like this old school mentality is like people need to stop taking your ego and your jealousy out of the way and look for a minute. Sam is a normal kid. He goes to university. He trains and he eats and he just loves bodybuilding. That's it. And he videos his life of him just loving bodybuilding. And look how much notoriety he got. Now, people are looking and going, oh, why is he? But being able to be a normal kid and show that life and draw so much people into it is drawing so much people into sport. Because all of a sudden, I train with Sam, just showing him how to do a chest workout. His fans that don't know anything about the bodybuilding world, they only know Sam. All of a sudden, oh, who's that guy? Oh, that's a bodybuilder. Is that what a pro bodybuilder looks like? All of a sudden, you draw people into our sport from it. And this is when you lack the idea to see the bigger picture. He's drawing a lot of people to our sport. He's drawing a lot of people bodybuilding. He's drawing a lot of attention to this thing that we all love. And he's just doing it on a whim because Sam is just chilled, man. He just loves to train and that's it. He just loves that. And I didn't think he likes training more than he had the idea of even getting on stage. He just loves the lifestyle of training, eating, and repeating that. So, you gotta love him for that.
Oh, 100%. Do you think he's going to compete or he will compete?
I'm sure that he's planning to because he practices his poses over and over again. So I think at some point, just like everybody, once you get into this and you envision and practice and practice, eventually you're gonna be like, man, I gotta give this a come on, I gotta get this done. I gotta get it done. So I know for a fact that he definitely will come up. He will definitely at some point will compete.
If you're a bodybuilder, you can't have a woman in your life.
Big, dense, thick muscle.
How many calories do you eat during prep?
These are your meals for today. Get on with it.
A lot of people think you're gonna win.
What the hell is this bodybuilding? I don't know anything about it.